And the prophets held people accountable to God's values of justice and compassion. Now, certainly there are truth-tellers among us. There are hope-tellers among us. There are people who speak from the heart and hold us accountable to our most faithful purposes as a church community. This isn't solely the work of the pastor. We must be aware that with prophecy comes false prophecy as well. This is always a problem that the scriptures are dealing with. There will be people thinking they are truth-tellers who are way off the mark. Sometimes we can discern in community what is truth and what isn't. Sometimes it takes time to sort that out. But truth-telling and hope-telling are central jobs in the church. The last two jobs are pastors and teachers. Now, pastor must mean something somewhat different in Ephesians than it means today. Ephesians isn't saying, and there will be those among you who will go off to seminary for 3 years and who will come back sometimes somewhat full of yourselves and difficult to employ. The Greek word for pastor can also be translated shepherd, and usually is in the Gospels. So, I am the good shepherd is the same word. I am the good pastor. It gives a somewhat different meaning to this. This suggests guidance and protection, but it also evokes images of care. The shepherd's care for the sheep. The caring ministries are at the heart of the life of the church, and they're never exclusively the job of one person. So even if two churches have one pastor, within those congregations we should have many pastors or shepherds or caregivers. We all can care for one another, and we already do. And we should start thinking about this as ministry that's central to the life of the church, part of what makes the church the church. It's central, and as we have those gifts and interests, we're called to offer them. The last job or gift is teaching. We're called to pass on the faith, and there are those among us who can do that. There are those that are to lead by sharing what they've learned, sharing their discoveries, sharing their questions, which are just as important as answers, especially when the answers are wrong. And they also share and lead by sharing their growth in the life of faith. We can't teach the Christian faith without also be growing in the Christian faith. This is a good list of church fundamentals. And as we focus on inviting others in, sharing the good news about the church, telling the truth, giving hope, holding ourselves accountable to Christ, caring for others, and sharing what we've learned and discovered, we will build up the body of Christ. We will grow in the fullest sense of that word. The passage says, we will come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to maturity, to the measure of the full stature of Christ. Unity happens when there's a sense of purpose. These fundamentals can keep us focused on growing into a Christ-like body, one that loves God and loves one another. These church-building basics or body-building basics can move us from the point A that we're not completely satisfied with toward the point B that is a more faithful church community. May God guide us on that journey.